Hello, everyone. Welcome to our YouTube channel, Kensington. And we're recording a video for our new class called The Environment for Level 2 and 3 students. With me here is Denny. Hello, Denny. How are you today?
Hello, Henry. I'm okay, thank you. How are you?
I'm good. So, Denny, in this class, we want our students to be able to use some phrases and vocabulary related to the environment to talk about the environment. We want them also to use their second conditional to talk about some hypothetical situations about the environment. And we also want them to express their opinions about different issues about the environment.
Mhm.
All right. Now, Danny,
All right.
let me ask you some questions about the environment.
Mhm.
What does the word environment mean to you?
It depends on the situation. So, for example, my environment now is my room.
Right.
I'm in one of my rooms, and this environment is a very comfortable room for me. So it's a comfortable environment. But generally, the environment is the things we surround ourselves with, and also the natural environment. So that's what it means to me. What about
Natural
you?
environment, like the trees, the air we breathe, the water,
Yeah.
lakes and rivers.
Yeah.
Okay.
How about
So,
you?
the environment around me, and also the big environment, natural environment, which we call our mother.
Mhm.
That includes, as I said, the mountains, rivers, air. Okay, so Denny, is protecting the environment important to you? Should we protect the environment?
Yeah, I think that we should protect the environment because, of course, greenery is very important to us. And there's a lot of evidence to suggest that having a lot of greenery around you even improves your mental health. It has a lot of positive effects on the human body and mind. Not just that, but it's also important for our survival because if we think about what plants do, plants eat CO2, which is carbon dioxide. And the thing is that if we have too much carbon dioxide, we can die. That's why it's very important to ventilate your rooms, because if you don't have sufficient air, you get carbon dioxide poisoning, basically. So, yeah, it's very, very important. How about you? What do you think?
Yes, it's very important to protect our environment because it's our mother.
Mhm.
And when we pollute the water we drink, we are actually poisoning ourselves.
Yeah.
And we also need to save the environment to live it in a good condition for our children, grandchildren, and descendants.
Yeah.
Okay, so should governments invest more in renewable energy? For example, wind, hydroelectricity, solar energy. Will that help to protect the environment?
That's a difficult question. I have a very layered opinion on this, but I'll try to keep it simple. Basically, I don't think the government should invest in environmental policies. Not because I don't want to support the environment, but because I don't think governments are good at doing it. I
Right.
think that governments should reduce the regulations necessary to get into the environmental market so they can allow brilliant people to build things that help develop renewable energies and so on. So I don't think it's the government's job to be protecting the environment. I think it's basically the job of, well, us. Because we are the economy. The government isn't the economy. So that's kind of my opinion on that, basically.
I see. Okay. Next question is, what do you think are of the environmental activists like Greta Thunberg?
Well, to put it mildly, I don't have very positive opinions on activists. Well, it depends on the activist. Greta Thunberg, I don't think is a great activist because she's more of a showman than she is a real activist. She does things, but she does it mainly for the purpose of exposure, which is something I don't really agree with. I don't agree with her methods. And furthermore, there are other environmentalists who will actively block traffic or damage art goods out of some misguided notion that this somehow protects the environment and brings awareness. But what this does is it actually makes people anti-activist, not pro-environment. So
some of their actions are actually like scoring in their own goal.
Yeah.
I mean, they're actually alienating people that would have supported their activism.
Yeah, exactly. And it's a big problem. And these activists are also not real environmentalists, because a lot of the people, they keep saying stop oil, and they would point to these trucks that deliver oil. But then when you ask what kind of oil's in the truck, you find out it's something like canola oil, which has absolutely nothing to do with the environmental issues. And also people who throw tomato soup on Van Gogh's paintings. The oil he uses has nothing to do with the environment.
Exactly.
So what is the purpose here?
Okay, so Denny, have you ever planted a tree or joined any cleanup event or any environmental protection campaign?
I don't think I have. I'm not really an activist kind of person, though I know my fiance. She's quite the activist. She's not an activist in the sense that she protests, but she has involved herself in voluntary cleanups and other environmental things. She's very, very into it. She knows more about it than I do, actually. So.
Well, I planted several trees when I was in high school. We had a club about the environment. So through that club, we planted some trees, and also we cleaned up some places in the city.
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay.
Another question. This is hypothetical. If you could stop one environmental problem, what would it be?
If I could stop
the
one
government is not involved. The government is not involved.
Okay.
On your own. What environmental problem would you try to solve?
So if I had the power to.
If you had the power, yes.
The only thing that comes to... This is a really hard question. The only thing that comes to mind would be to basically go for the throat of BP and other deep oil drilling companies, because they've done tremendous amounts of damage with bad maintenance of their machinery in the ocean. And there was the disaster, I think it was about 10 years ago, which was the worst ecological disaster in history, where a bunch of oil just went everywhere across the ocean. And they did pay damages, but it really didn't matter. They still make a lot of money, and I think people like that need to be held accountable. So if I had more power, I would go for the throats of those companies, because the core issue was that the technology they had was fine. It was just that the regulators and the safety technicians were being ignorant of the risks. So the tech is fine. It's the people behind the tech, though, the regulators, that are a nightmare, and we need to, take down those people. Similar to the guys at TEPCO with the Fukushima disaster.
Yes.
Yeah.
They should be held accountable to pay for the cleanup until we are satisfied. Okay. One last question. What role does technology play in solving environmental problems?
Well, that question for me being me, technology is basically everything we use. So a stick is a form of technology to me. So it's essential to help fix the environment. So We need to use technology in ways that both shape the environment in a positive way and also benefit us in some way, but not rely on it so much that we can't live without it.
Right.
Because I think that one of the big problems we have now is that we completely depend on all the things we use in our technological era. And that is a major problem. And interestingly enough, if people know much about the history of Ted Kaczynski, he was the Unabomber. He was a pure primitivist. For our advanced students, a primitivist is someone who believes in living purely in nature. And he talked about how we depend too much on technology. And I'm not that far down the line. I'm not crazy. I don't bomb things. So I'm a pretty regular person. But he has a point in that we shouldn't depend on it so much. But we have to find a balance with technology.
Right. So technology is not really going to help us 100% to solve some of the environmental problems.
No, I think reduction of technology will solve a lot of the problems we have. So if we actually reduce car usage, and people like to think that the way to fix this is by making better cars. But I always go back to the fundamental, why do we need cars? And the reason we need cars is because we've designed cities. Why do we need cars in our cities? Because those cities are not walkable. And that's the fundamental problem. When you make a city that's walkable and accessible, car reduction goes down naturally.
Don't need cars.
Yeah, that's it's a service problem. That's how you solve problems. You solve things are solved by making them simple. If you make it so that people don't need cars, then we basically can solve massive environmental problems.
Exactly. Okay. Thanks, Danny. That will do it for today. Thank you. I hope our students learned something from our discussion.
Yeah.
And it's going to help them.
I went a bit intense there.
Going to help them to discuss these problems in class.
Yeah.
Okay. Thank you.
Okay. See you guys.
See you.
Bye-bye.